The daily schedule. After an early breakfast of cornmeal mush, Johnny cakes or cold biscuits, as well as coffee and bacon, the wagons headed out. Each day, a different family led the way. Wagon trains took a break called a nooning about midday. While the oxen rested, pioneers enjoyed a cold meal of beans or bacon. Children gathered buffalo chips or cow manure to use for fuel on the evening campfire. At mid-afternoon, the train would set out again and travel until early evening. Scouts went ahead of the train to find a pasture for the oxen and a large flat area for the wagons. When the wagons arrived, they were set up in a circle. The circle made a corral to keep the oxen inside to graze. Tents were set up and campfires built. Mexican-American War. Many Americans believed it was their right to settle the land all the way to the Pacific Ocean, even if Mexicans or Native Americans lived there. This led to the Mexican-American War in 1846. The Republic of Texas became a state in 1845, but Mexico believed that Texas belonged to it. Mexico went to war to get it back. When Mexico lost, it had to give its territories to America for $15 million. That territory includes the present-day states of California, Nevada, and Utah, and parts of New Mexico, Arizona, Colorado, and Wyoming. Trail food. Women learned to bake bread on the trail using Dutch ovens over campfires. Cooking was usually done in the evening, and leftovers were eaten for breakfast and lunch. A typical pioneer diet consisted of bacon, ham, rice, dried fruit, bread, coffee, and tea. They also ate wild game like antelope, rabbits, and birds. Some families brought a milking cow with them to provide fresh milk. Pioneers also traded with Native Americans for meat and vegetables. Everyone ate a hard bread called hardtack. Hardtack didn't spoil on the long trip because it had no butter or lard. Pioneers often dipped their hardtack into a hot drink to soften it before trying to bite into it. Typical. If something is typical, it is usual or normal. Consisted. If something consisted of certain items, it was made up of those things. The Pony Express. It was hard for pioneers to communicate with their families back east. They left letters at trading posts and even under rocks along the trail, hoping that wagons going east would take them. In April 1860, the Pony Express began delivering mail from St. Joseph, Missouri to Sacramento, California in only 10 days. Riders changed horses every 10 miles, 16 kilometers. And after 70 miles, 112 kilometers, a new rider took over. Finding fresh water on the trail was not easy. Rain barrels on wagons collected water, but they never had enough. Pioneers had no choice but to drink from creeks and rivers just like their cattle. One woman wrote of sucking on a rag soaked in vinegar when there was no water. Another wrote about straining pond water through the end of a wagon cover. In spite of all of these hardships, the pioneers managed to make the journey and settle new towns throughout the West. Their strength, innovations, and adventurous spirits helped shape the United States we know today.